So welcome, Brock.
Thank you very much for having me, Karen. I appreciate it.
It's my pleasure. You're a bloody legend, and I might not have said that about 10 years ago because you're a little shit, but but you've turned into an amazing human, which I believe was under there the whole time. But you're doing some great stuff with your, now that you've left school and got over those difficult days, you're now doing chiropractic and you're doing marathons, and you are in December looking to do one particular marathon that's close to your heart for your mate Xavier, who's got cancer. So we'll talk all about those things. But so welcome on board, and thanks for being brutally honest about your your childhood.
No drama. It's all a part of my story now. So no, I appreciate you having me on. Thank you very much.
No, it's my pleasure. And that's exactly the point, that we've all got a story, and I think that every single person's story lends itself to somebody else learning from it. And I know that that's something that you're big on now, is, helping to inspire people to live their potential. And
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't think that comes from perfection. I think that comes from a lot of bloody hard work, a lot of mistakes, and,
Yeah.
screwing things up and then making some realizations and having reflections. So I think it's great. Now, at the start, I did mention that you were a shit of a kid. and
Yeah.
so was I, Brock. So don't worry about it. So was
It works
I.
out well.
Yeah, it does work out well. in fact, there's a lot of people I know that are doing great things. It was shits of kids. So that's, and my mum's listened to it. She'll be nodding her head, going, "Oh my God, you were more than a shit of a kid." But and what was it like at school? Like, tell us how you behaved, and then I want to know why you think you might have behaved like that.
Oh, I think when I was prepped to grade two, I was a golden child. I was actually really well behaved, yeah, back then. But yeah, I don't know, something changed when I hit like grade three. So, yeah, grade three at Rosedale Primary School through to year 12, my final year of schooling at Catholic College. So I was just, yeah, just, I don't know, probably got caught in the wrong crowd a little bit. Had to be the show off, had to be the face of attention all the time. Probably, yeah, I thrived off that, which, yeah, wasn't something like I look back in hindsight and I'm real proud of. But well, I was young, pretty immature with it all. But yeah, I just got stuck in one place with it all. And yeah, I don't know, I found it pretty hard to break out of it.
Yeah, and when you, so to be a car, I want to tell. Well, actually, I want to say something there. It was grade two when I had a turning point too, because I was a golden child. I was teaching all the other kids to read in grade prep. I was the number one student, and then I had I had a teacher in grade two who was great, and she left, and then another one came, and I didn't gel with her at all. And so from grade two onwards, I couldn't stand school, and I was a fair shit, actually, and exactly like you, always just a class clown, and how can I make people laugh? And when I look back at it too, I'm the same. I ended up not doing year 12. I was going to be a teacher, and I got a job at the end of year 11 in Safeway or Woolworths back then, and I was earning like $84 a week over Christmas holidays. I thought, I'm not going back to school. This is bloody fantastic. I'm going to be a millionaire. that didn't quite work out.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, you've had a dream of being an elite sports person. Actually, we'll talk about that in a minute. But why did you, to be a chiropractor, you must have done year 12. Did you end up to?
Yeah. So I started, once you get to year 11 and 12, you get the option to do your VCE or VCAL, which, the VCAL is more if you want to end up in a trade. And I started doing that at the beginning of year 11. Probably did 2 or 3 weeks, and it just wasn't for me at all. So I switched over to VCE. And I can't even really remember the subjects I was doing. Physical education would have been one of them, then like your standard maths and English and stuff. But I don't really remember the other ones too well. But then, I followed that through in year 12. Finished year 12, which is something I'm pretty proud of, because if you had asked me year 7 or 8 if I'm finishing school, I would have said there's no way. I would have been straight out there. But similar to what we touched on before, I didn't apply the most effort to. I'm an ATAR was all. I think I got about 70, which it ends up being in the top 30% of the state, but it wasn't real indicative of my ability. Didn't utilize my time half as much as what I could have.
So why did you? So you had to do VCE. VCE. That's what we. Yeah, VCE to get into chiropractic college. What was it that switched you? Because you could have just spent all your time you could have gone into a trade and so said, I'm just gonna, and I'm not bagging trades, but you could have just gone into that and gotten drunk every weekend because you were enjoying that kind of lifestyle. What was it that made you go, I really need to switch here and pull my socks up? And like, was it that you suddenly saw that you could have a great future if you applied yourself, or what was that switch?
Yeah, it was I remember I was doing a bit of I was helping one of my good mates from Roselle, Adam Diamond, out with flooring, and he was talking about he suffered a few concussions and stuff over his football career at home, and he was interested in like psychology and stuff like that. And I studied psychology actually in year 12. It would have been. I found that stuff really interesting. Yeah, I just kind of went of the stereotype when you're growing up, all males get trades and stuff,
Yeah.
kind of like that. But yeah, it just isn't me. Like it doesn't appeal to me at all. And then yeah, at the end of year 12, I started playing footy for Sale Football Club, and one of the players there is a chiropractor, Mitchell Dowse. And yeah, I started speaking to him a little bit about it and how he studied up here, and yeah, went to the same university as everything as me. And then yeah, ever since then, really, I was probably at a conversation with Mitch, and then yeah, actually just going to the chiro, I'm like, yeah, this is me. This is what I want to do. So yeah, ever since like yeah, I enjoy it as much as someone can enjoy studying and stuff at university. But like I work at a few chiropractic clinics now, one in Carlton and one in Rosa when I'm back there. And yeah, it reminds myself every day why I chose to study it. It's my passion for sure.
Yeah, and it's I think that isn't it funny though. You're talking about you're having that one conversation with that one person at the football club, and it was sort of like, oh yeah, I could do that, and there must be so many people out there who never run into that person, who just triggers that thing for them, and I think we've got it in us already. It's just takes something to trigger it, and to say, let me go do that. So you're in your third year. So what was it? How many years are there of uni for chiropractic?
Yeah, so halfway through my third year, it's a 5 year course. So have another two after this. But yeah, it gets a little bit more in depth. And at the beginning of fourth year, start to do there's more clinical practice, more work placement and stuff, which yeah, I can't wait for it to be awesome.
Yeah. So now, and so you moved from Rosedale down to Melbourne, and you live with some, I think, North Melbourne footballers, if I'm right. So do you?
Yep.
So I was half expecting you to get on here and go, oh yeah, I'll just take it one day at a time, and me and the boys, but you haven't done that. So
they aren't all cliches here.
I love it.
But, yeah, I live with Charlie Comben from Sales. So yeah, Charlie and I have been best mates since we were probably went to school together since we were 13, but yeah, we've probably been really close since 16, 17.
Yeah.
Then yeah, he bought a house at the end of 2021 in Mooney Ponds here in Melbourne. So yeah, I live with him and Tom Powell, who's another bloke who plays at North Melbourne. He's from Adelaide. So yeah, pretty fortunate to live here with them two boys. It's pretty good fun, and yeah, it's a pretty nice house, which helps for sure.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Oh, good. And you wanted to be an elite sports person. Did you want to play footy, or did you have something else in mind?
Yeah, up until probably about the age of 15, if you asked me in the winter, what I wanted to do was play AFL. If you asked me in the summer, what I wanted to do was play cricket for Australia. But yeah, I didn't quite have the ability that some of the boys do, like my housemates. So yeah, it was just some local stuff, maybe a few local rep size and stuff. But yeah, it wasn't too much beyond there. Yeah, it wasn't probably till I hit 15, 16 that I realized it was a dream, and it wouldn't be anything really more than that.
Yeah, but I think you're doing exactly what you're meant to be doing anyway, and you'll be able to do chiropractic on a lot of elite sports. But in fact, this is what I love about a field like chiropractic, and there's many other fields the same, is that you don't have to end up, and I don't tell your boss this, but you don't have to end up working in a clinic forever. Like you can end up working on elite sports in the elite sports field, and a lot of other stuff like that. So it's got a lot of openings, really, hasn't it?
Yeah, yeah, 100%. Yeah, I'm pretty lucky at the moment. I work at True Solutions in Carlton, and yeah, my boss there, Steve Shashan, he's at Wimbledon currently. He was at the French Open a month ago. Yeah, he works at all the Grand Slams, which is it's pretty amazing. I've been very very fortunate with that job. It's amazing to work alongside him, and some of the people you see come to the clinic, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah. Wow. Geez, you've landed on your feet all right, haven't you, for a naughty boy?
Worked all right. The stars have aligned pretty well for me since leaving school.
Since pulling your head in, maybe.
Yeah, a little bit since then. Yeah.
And so now you're really focused on marathons, and and that may be the love of your life for the rest of your life, or it may change, or whatever. Like a lot of marathon runners end up doing a knee or something, and then they switch to something else. But whatever. At the minute, that's your love. Now, how did that start? Like what?
Yeah, last year, one of my good mates, Dave McGuinness, signed up for the half marathon at the Melbourne Running Festival. So I thought I'd sign up for it as well, and probably signed up maybe 2 months before the event, roughly, and trained a little bit for it. Like, had to meet up with a few people, like Matt Ferguson he lives up here now, but he's a Hayfield boy. Yeah, he's helped me so much with me running because I had no idea what I was doing. And then yeah, I ran that by myself. Yeah, on the day of the festival, and yeah, just kind of fell in love with it from there. And I don't know, I suppose a lot of people do like an event like a half marathon or marathon, and they tick it off and don't ever touch it again.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just decided to keep running after it, and then I know 21Ks become 42Ks, 42Ks become 60Ks. It's all just it's all happened pretty quickly. But yeah, I'm half addicted to it now, I suppose. Kind of seeing how far I can push it.
I love that you say you're half addicted to it. I saw a little video by Merrick Watts, Merrick and Rosso, and
Yeah,
he's like, oh, I just did my first marathon. Oh, I just ran whatever 20Ks, and they say that you always get addicted to marathons. And he goes, and that's not true. Stay home and drink wine.
yeah.
It
It can be a bit like that. There are some of the marathons like I've run in my own time. You wake up in the morning and it's a bit like can't really be bothered putting 42Ks together now. But like when I do something like that, I'll always put it on my Instagram like before, so I hold myself accountable. It's out there now. I have to run it, unfortunately. But yeah, I know it's a bit weird. Yeah, it can either go one or two ways. Either you become addicted to it, or you don't. And yeah, I suppose I can say I'm pretty easily habitual. Yeah, just have this innate desire to keep seeing how far I can push it.
Yeah, well, with all of this get off the bench stuff, is what I like to bring people onto the podcast so that they can showcase what they're doing, so other people might be. Well, not. I hope that other people are inspired by your story, and the story of others, and so they can go, "Wow, if he can do it, maybe I can." Now, when you're talking about physical exercise, that seems to be another kettle of fish because people can apply themselves mentally, but when you ask someone to apply themselves physically, like to lose weight, to get fit, to run marathons, that sort of become an elite rower, whatever, it's kind of like, oh yeah, but it's too hard. I did it for a week and it's too hard. How do you And I completely understand that. Like we do 5 laps of the driveway every morning, and then I'm like, we get to number 5. I'm like, should we do 6 now? And
Yeah,
like,
some days.
yeah, some days are just like that. But what you said sometimes you just scream at yourself in the morning, and like, how do you persist? What advice do you got for people to persist? Do you listen to music while you're running? Do you amp yourself up with some songs or some mantra? Like how do you do it?
No, it's a bit weird. I get asked this question a fair bit. I don't listen to anything at all when I run.
Yep.
It's yeah, I don't know. I suppose if it means enough to you, you'll stick to it. And yeah, like last year I was pretty out of shape, and yeah, I kind of knew I wasn't terribly out of shape or anything, but I kind of knew I had to do something about it. And that changed a little bit through the half marathon and stuff. But yeah, I suppose I was kind of always putting things out there, like having goals to work towards. Like after I ran the half marathon, I wanted to do a full one, so it was a little bit easier to get up each morning. And yeah, if you got something on the agenda you want to do, a lot of people want to lose weight, but they don't put a number on it or anything. So yeah, if I wanted to lose weight, I'd start. Well, the end goal might have been 10 kilos or something, but yeah, I'd start by trying to lose 2 in X amount of time. Maybe it was a fortnight or something. And yeah, I think the small attainable goals, and then yeah, you can see that they're working, because a lot of people I know, they say like they'll set this big audacious goal, work at it for 2 weeks, don't see any results because 2 weeks isn't a lot of time for change, and then yeah, they throw the towel in from that. So yeah, I think setting small goals, and then like after the half marathon, I wasn't just run twice that far. Now it was 25Ks, it was 30Ks, it was every weekend. Yeah, piling it on top of each other, trying to be smart with it and not burning myself out, so I'd end up hating it.
Yeah. Are you a high achiever, Brock?
I suppose, yeah, me running a little bit now, but yeah, I don't know, uni, like I spoke a little bit about how I was at school. Uni, I still don't love it or enjoy it. The chiro side of it, I really do. I try and get good marks in chiro, in yeah, the actual chiropractic subject itself, because yeah, I want to be a good chiropractor, but I'm not too phased about being the greatest student, winning
Yeah,
all the awards and stuff like that. And yeah, that doesn't,
yeah.
yeah, I'm not too stressed about all that.
But we're all different learners, aren't we? And some of us learn hands-on, some of us learn by watching, some of us learn by reading. And I don't think, some people are going to slam me for this, but I don't think uni's really well set up for everybody. It's set up for the mentally academic people. And other than that, everyone else is, pushes hard. But you said something before that was really important. It says you've got to know why it matters to you, or something like that. You said, and I think, exactly that end goal, or that thing that you really value. If you don't know what that is, and you don't know what you're working towards, how can you go forward if you don't know where you're going?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, if you don't have an end goal, you're kind of not really waking up and working towards anything each morning. Yeah, that's pretty much the only reason I hop out of bed each morning. Like, yeah, I've made myself accountable now with me run at the end of the year, which we'll touch on soon. But yeah, like it's hard every morning when the alarm clock does go off. But yeah, it's mind over matter. I feel there's more reasons to keep going than to quit with a lot of things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
if it means enough to you, you'll get it done.
so when your alarm goes off, what goes through your head?
Oh, it's pretty hard. Yeah, it depends. Like the Saturday mornings, I'd try and throw down a pretty big run, like anything 25K plus.
Yeah.
You don't want to do it, but yeah, you know that you will end up doing it. It's hard. Like just yeah, it's kind of it's a little yeah, it's pretty hard to say. Like you don't want to do it. You want to keep snoozing, but yeah, you just know at the end of the day you will hop up and yeah start running. It's just yeah one thing. As soon as you start moving, like you know, overthink a lot of things at the start. I feel, but as soon as you get 20 minutes into something, it isn't
Yeah.
ever as bad as
I agree
yeah, how
with
you
that.
feel. And yeah,
Yeah. What you talk a lot about now, that there's a lot of benefits. So you've got more energy, you feel more productive, you've got more, you feel healthier, you're eating better food, all that kind of stuff. Was there a tipping point for that? Like, because you're talking about, you had to keep pushing yourself at first, and then you get 20 minutes in and all that. Did it, was it like you got 3 months into running and then you suddenly noticed those things, or was it just this
yeah,
build up?
yeah. Especially with me running times in general. Like, no, I'm not yeah, running to be in the Olympic team or anything, but yeah, it took a long time for me running results to actually get better and show. And probably yeah, it wasn't until I ran my first marathon that shone through, and that was probably on the back of good 6 7 months of training. I reckon, yeah, roughly ballpark around that time. But yeah, the eating, like what I touched on before, was kind of yeah, small goals with that. Like yeah, I lost 2 kilos and I lost 4 kilos, and then yeah, I wasn't, as I said, terribly out of shape. I lost 7 8 kilos all up, but yeah, that was probably more fortnightly goals that were coming through. But yeah, the running was a fair while to come through. But
Mm,
yeah, even then, like a lot of the mornings I don't run to try and get fit, and now it is trying to get my body ready for yeah, as I said, what we'll touch on. I'm doing it at the end of the year, but
mm.
yeah, a lot of it was just yeah, to try and break away from the cycle from how we used to be, just like kind of sleeping in, hopping up whatever time of the day.
Wasting the day.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, just getting out of bed at whatever time, 9:30, then
Mm,
walking straight to the couch, doing not much, just putting on YouTube or something like that. Like yeah, just
yeah,
yeah, look back and yeah, that proud of what I used to do.
yeah. How long does it take you to run 25Ks?
Like, if I was giving it a fair tilt, like going for a personal best, like I don't know, it'd be probably a little bit under 2 hours. I could probably get it done around
Mm,
4 minute 30Ks, but I do a lot of heart rate training. Like like my heart rate when I run is generally around 140 beats a minute because
mm.
I train zone 2, zone 3. Like yeah, if I was given 25K, my best tilt, I'd be zone 4, zone 5. But yeah, I don't really do a lot of it because yeah, it's not really specific to what I'm trying to do now. So yeah, a lot of heart rate training, so the heart rate isn't up too high, and the body can put up with the amount of kilometers I'm putting into it.
Yeah, yeah. When you talk zone 4 and 5, you're talking about how high your heart rate goes.
Yeah, so that's yeah, zone 4 to 5 is So that ends up being 80 to 100% of your max heart rate. So anything around 160 beats per minute to 198, which I won't go in really anymore until next year if I start training for a marathon again. But yeah, pretty much all my heart rate training now is zone 2, zone 3.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I was just hearing, I just heard on I don't know if it was a podcast or somewhere I heard about, it was a podcast, I'm going to get this wrong, the Malamutes or whatever they are, they pull the sleds, that sort of thing. And they can they're trained to go hard pulling for 2 to 3 days, just go. And they reckon that their vitals at the start and their vitals at the end are exactly the same. Like they're just so fit and so there that nothing changes for them. It's just their state of being. And that's what an elite animal, really, when you think about that. It's,
100%. Yeah, that's kind of what the aerobic training, the zone 2, zone 3 training does for me. Yeah, my heart rate at the end is
wow.
the exact same what it is at the start. When I'm running, I'm barely ever checking to see how far I went. I've got a rough idea, but I'll check my watch every 2 to 3 minutes to make sure my heart rate's in a certain zone.
Yeah. Wow. Well. So you did I remember you did the 60K. Was it 60K or 62K? 60K around Apollo Great Ocean Road, and you raised $3,500 for the Starlight Children's Foundation. Was that intentional? Like was the race specifically so runners could raise money for that, or was that something you chose to do?
I think I can't really remember signing. I remember Matt Ferguson, who I said before, he sent me like the link to sign up for the race. And I was like, right, I'll give 60Ks a crack. And I'm pretty sure like on the checkout, but you have to pick a charity to raise money for. And then, I've never had too much personal hardship or anything like in our family with disease or anything. So I messaged, I'm pretty close with a lot of people at the Rosedale Football Club. So I messaged Michael Tilley from there, whose young boy had cancer growing up. I think he was 6 or 7 and he had a brain tumor. So I said, if you want me to run for a certain charity, and he said, the Starlight Children's Foundation helped them heaps. When X was when Xavier was younger and had his troubles, so ended up picking it from that. And as I said, I put it out there on Facebook, made myself accountable and raised $3,500, which is pretty cool.
You're bringing me to tears. How did you feel with no, I'll tell you why you are. Let me stop on that. Is because the fact that you could have just as a young guy, and I'm not stereotyping, but thinking about yourself, I just want to do my run. Oh yeah, tick a charity. I don't really give a toss. I'm more focused on me doing a run. The fact that you actually thought more deeply about it and reached out to people and cared enough, to say, well, what does this mean to somebody else? Like that affects me emotionally. That really touches me. I think that's really, really nice. So how did you? Oh, it's beautiful. How did you feel when you were able to hand over $3,500 to such a meaningful charity?
Yeah, it's pretty cool, and they were really appreciative of it. Honestly, it wasn't really until the end of it I kind of realized the magnitude of what it done. Like I got a few messages like the week of the race, people saying good luck and what they think I'm doing was amazing. But I don't know, I was kind of thinking about the race.
Yeah.
The whole time. So I didn't really realize the impact it was having on people. And there wasn't until after I'm like, I suppose I did something pretty cool. But I just I couldn't have done any of it without people actually putting in the money or anything. Like everyone thanks me and says what I did was amazing and stuff. But I wasn't the person that put in $3,500. It was everyone that got around it and shared it around on Facebook. And like the money tin went around at the Rosedale Footy Club on like a Thursday night selection and stuff. And all them. Well, that would have raised $500 there. So I got all the thank yous, but it was pretty far from all my work. I just ran 60Ks pretty much.
No, but sometimes I think it. And someone said this to me before with my charity. It's like you're a conduit. They can't run. They can't raise the money. Like they can't find $3,500 individually, that sort of stuff. And so you stepping up to do something, which is leadership. You stepping up to do that. Other people believe in you, and other people want to buy in on what you're doing, and you give people an opportunity that they would not have normally had, to contribute to something with such magnitude. And that's, people appreciate that more than anything. So when you say you didn't really do anything, you actually held you held that space for people to be able to feel good about themselves and to be altruistic. So I think that's massive. A lot of people don't realize the impact they have when they hold that space for other people. So
yeah, I suppose so. Yeah, when you put it like that, it's pretty cool to think. And yeah, like I was back home, back in Rosedale the week after it or something. Yeah, went up to the footy club on Thursday nights. Yeah, a lot of people like come up and were thanking me, and yeah, like Xavier's family was all there, and they were all pretty emotional and stuff about it, which yeah, it was pretty awesome to see.
yeah. So Xavier is the one that you're doing the end run for. Is he the same kid that you raised?
Actually, yeah, there's two Xaviers. So one Xavier Tilley was a young boy from Rosa who I messaged messaged his old man. It would have been 10 years ago or something when he initially had cancer. Yeah, we've been pretty close with the Tilley family for as long as what I can remember, pretty much my whole childhood and stuff. Like, there's a bit of age gap in between all us kids. I think Xavier would be 15, 16 now. I'd assume, I'm 22. So yeah, there's a bit of age gap between us all, but yeah, pretty close family and stuff through being involved at the football club.
And then there's another Xavier that we'll get to in a minute. No, let's do it now. No, one thing I want to ask first is that you this marathon that you decided to run by yourself just around Rosedale. So it's not a fun run. It's not a fundraiser. It's not anything like that. It's nothing that there's flags and whistles and trucks and water stations and everything else. You just decided, I'm going to run a marathon around. So did you? I love this. Did you just do it in one day? Like, how far was it? And did you just do it in one big hit around Rosedale?
Yeah. So marathon 42.22 Ks. Yeah, just did it in one hit around Rosedale. I was Yeah, I think like I've got Strava. I'm not sure if you're too familiar with the running app.
No.
It's like running app it's like Instagram for runners, pretty much. Like as soon as you post, as soon as you go for a run, like it puts it on there. People can like your runs and stuff like that. And yeah, on Friday I went for a run. Then said I'll run a marathon tomorrow. Then similar to like the alarm went off at like 4:30 in the morning. It was a Saturday morning. I remember I'm just thinking, oh, why have said you're going to do this? But yeah, like I was pretty excited about it all. I wanted to say I've done one, but yeah, but bloody hurt. I didn't have the strength training or anything. Looking back enough, but yeah, I went and seen. I can't remember. I think it might have been Dowsey again, Mitch Dowse, sorry, I should say. And I ran like a 30K a fortnight before. He said you should try a marathon. I'm like, yeah, right, I'll do it. See how far we can go, and then did it all in one hit. But yeah, the first 35K wasn't too bad, but the last 7K was up there with some of the worst pain I've been in my life because I was fairly undertrained to run that distance.
So what's I'm laughing because you like stick your hand up like still the class clown. Yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, watch me show off. I love that. But when you hit that 35K and you're in so much pain, there's a point. I can either quit because no one's watching anyway, other than the fact that I said it on a Facebook app or Insta app, or you keep going. What's going on in your head when you say, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to finish it. Why?
It gets a bit full on. Not going to lie, it's that a 1 second decision, which I think is the biggest thing. Like I remember, especially on the 60K ultra marathon, how much it was going through. Well, I was never going to quit that, but like it would have been pretty easy to get up and quit that marathon attempt at 35Ks. But yeah, I'm a big believer if you say you're going to do something, you get out there and do it. And yeah, even though like the pain is bad, it's not going to kill you. No one's died of sore knees, sore hamstrings, sore lower back, or anything like that. And yeah, I don't know. You could say if someone had a gun to your head to run 7 more Ks, you'd do it for sure.
Yeah. But they didn't. You still decided to do it. I love that something you said in there, that 1 second decision. And I'm thinking about anything that's endurance, and I'm not talking about just physical endurance, even just mental endurance or emotional endurance or anything like that. That whole just 1 second more, just one more second. That kind of make a decision in the second. How much multiple of those can keep moving you forward. Just make that decision in that second, and there's another 10 minutes gone, and make that decision in that second, and there's another 10 minutes gone. And it's everything in life is just, we get to that fork in the road how many times a day? 1,000 times a day. It's like, will I go that way or that way? And it's just that one decision that changes everything for you. And it could be a bad decision, but just that one split second changes your whole day, changes your life, changes everything.
It's make or break. And that's like previous self, like, probably back until I really started the running. That was when I had been at that fork in the road, I would have just craved the easy way out of it all. But then last year when as I said, we'll touch on him soon. Like when Ned Brockman was running across Australia, I learned so much about how much we're all capable of it. He's just pushing his body to the ringer each day. I'm like, if he can keep doing that, get up day after day and just keep showing up. Like I went and seen Ned when he was in Melbourne and I just learned that much about it. Like just hearing him talk, I think it was only half hour, but the amount you learn about like just how he handled his goals and everything was just amazing to get a perspective like that on it. Which I've learned so much, and I'm trying to base a lot of my decisions off like running wise, life wise.
Yeah. So that's Ned Brockman, and you were saying that you were getting up in your bio. You're saying you got up every morning to check where's he at. That
that was my favourite thing. Yeah, when he was running across Australia, I miss that so much. It was that was probably around the time I was training for my half marathon, so that helped a lot. Like when I think I was only going on a few like 6-8K runs, but you're like, if he pound out 100K day after day, like I couldn't even imagine the pain.
So what's a full marathon? How many kilometers is that?
Full marathon's 42.2 Ks. Half marathon's 21.1.
Okay, yep. And so now let's get to the you've done the 60K run, which was the Great Ocean Road one that you raised the money for. You did the 42K, so full marathon around Rosedale. Oh, by the way, when you were doing it around Rosedale, were like people out there going, here comes Brock again,
I ran a fair bit out of town. I ran I think I would have started running like 6 o'clock in the morning. So I maybe did 5 laps to the town first, which I think is roughly around 3K. A lap of the town is maybe, give or take a little bit. Then, I ran probably 10K out of town towards Flynn type thing. And then, back in, so building up another 20K there. But there was a fair few laps of the town. And I did see a few of the same people 2, 3, 4 times eventually.
Here he comes again. I think that's funny. Actually, that would be really funny, like to have everyone just sitting lined up, knowing that you're going to do it, lined up at the cafes, drinking. Come here, Brock's just come round. That okay, I get my kicks out of that. That would be really hilarious.
The boys from the Rosedale Cricket Club had a bucks party on that Saturday morning. And I ran part. It would have been 7 o'clock in the morning. They were already drinking on the beers. They asked me how far I'm running. I said a marathon. They didn't believe me. Then they were at the footy club in the morning for maybe 2 hours or whatever. Then their bus was driving out again. I think I was up to about 35, 36K by the time I seen them again. And they actually believed me then.
Probably the look on your face convinced them that you were really doing it.
Yeah. I was in struggle street by that point.
Now, so a full marathon 42, you've done 60. You've got this grand plan, which I think is absolutely fantastic, running from Adelaide to Sale, which I don't know how many Ks it is, but I think you're running about 65 Ks a day or something, 62.5 Ks a day. So I don't know how many, 16 days, what are the maths? How many total kilometers is that?
Yeah, so I made it. So Adelaide to Sale is only 930 Ks, but I've changed the route a little bit. I'm making it 1,000 Ks. So I'm going to, instead of running straight from Adelaide down to Melbourne, I'm going to head to Bendigo because the person who's training me from a run, Jed Zimmer from the Health Project, that's where he's from. And we might try and sort out there something a little bit.
Yeah.
The night I go through there, a bit of a celebration. I won't be doing too much of the celebrating because I still have another 500 Ks or so to run, but that's my grand plan. So come December 1st, I'll take off from Adelaide, which will be pretty exciting.
So 62 Ks a day. So that's even more than the biggest one you've done so far. So with your training now, how many Ks are you running now? Only 25.
Yeah. Also, probably weekly it's around 80 to 90 at the moment. I'll just keep doing it. Like I'm doing a lot of strength training in the gym, probably 3, 4 pretty heavy leg days a week. So I'm not trying my best not break down and get a stress fracture actually on the run. But it'll just keep getting bigger and bigger. Like like you tell a lot of people how many kilometers you're running at the moment, and they're like, no, there's no way you're going to be able to do that. But Ned Brock, and I'll touch on him again in a few times probably in this podcast. But I remember him saying he for about the 2 months before he was running 10Ks a week in the lead up before he had to be doing 700 kilometers a week and 100Ks of 46 days of 100 kilometer runs. So yeah, I think by the time I don't think you can actually really train for that
No.
distance, that much stress on your body. I think a lot of it gets to the point where it's just a mental game.
Yeah, yeah. And you and also stopping if you need to. If you need 2 nights rest instead of one, just have your rest. But what are you doing it for? I know you're raising it for raising money for a friend. So tell us about that.
Yeah, so Xavier and I have been good friends for maybe 3-4 years now. Through a little bit of football and stuff like that. And he had cancer when he was younger. I think he would have been 6, 7. As I said, we weren't really friends then. But yeah, over the summer he was diagnosed with cancer again, a pretty severe tumor. So unfortunately, yeah, he's got a pretty tough road ahead of him at the moment. He's heading over to Japan for treatment, which is going to cost the family a fair bit. I don't think he's too sure how much Medicare can cover, but yeah, I could be wrong, but I don't think it's looking like it's a lot, which is going to be a bloody expensive trip over there for the treatment and everything. I think it's going to be up north of 200 grand. So
wow.
I spoke to him a little bit. I've always wanted to do kind of a run like this, and yeah, now that my running's kind of taken off, I thought it was perfect time. And yeah, so I messaged Dave and I'm like, is there a certain charity that's helped you? And he said, yeah, the Sony Children's Foundation. So I sent them an email maybe 3-4 months ago, I think, and yeah, they've been awesome. They were, as soon as I emailed them, they were keen for me to jump on board and do it. Yeah, they set up a website and everything now, and there's a link to donate. And yeah, the actual page, I'm sure, yeah, you and Nani, Nikki, and everyone have seen it. Looks pretty awesome what they've done with it. So I definitely couldn't have done anything like that myself. If I was left to make the website, we wouldn't have a website.
So I'm going to make sure I put the link in, so that people can donate to that. So if and you're hoping to raise, what was it, $62,000 or something like that?
Yeah, $62,500. So yeah, that's kind of indicative of the kilometers I'm running each day, which would be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of why I picked that amount. It's probably a little bit audacious, but I don't know. I think the donations obviously won't come in for a bit, but I think as I get closer and closer to sale, come the end of the run, they'll start to pile in. And yeah, hopefully opportunities like this, like hopping on podcasts, potentially radio and stuff, if it does arise, it can only makes the event bigger and gets more out there. And like living with Charlie and Tom here, like they're obviously two pretty well known figures and have a few contacts. So hopefully, yeah, that can lead to a few more opportunities like this and really get it out there.
Yeah, absolutely, and some fundraisers and that sort of stuff. You're also looking. So I'll put that link in so that anyone can donate. But you also, I saw you put on Instagram yesterday or the day before about looking for corporate sponsors from businesses and that sort of stuff. So if there's a business that wants to, throw in $5,000 or $10,000 or something like that, how are they contacted? You just asking them to contact you personally to talk about that?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, just contact me or my Uncle Cam personally. Probably if you're hearing it through this, just contact me via my Instagram's got my email and phone number.
Yeah.
My bio. It's my Facebook. You can just contact me via Messenger. But yeah, I put up that post 2 days ago, and I didn't think it'd be 2-3 days ago maybe. I didn't think it'd be that popular, but it's blown up. They've got probably 15 sponsors on board already, which is
fantastic.
Pretty mind blowing. Yeah, it's it's blown me away how excited everyone is by it and wants to be a part of it and stuff. It means the world. Everyone that has jumped on board. So yeah, I'll have custom made running shirts the entire run. Like and any business, company, corporate sponsors, anyone that jumps on board, they'll have their brand and logo on my run, which will be worn pending heat. Might be a few days where I have to go shirtless and when I'm running at that time of the year. But yeah, they'll everyone who sponsors and puts in money will be on the shirts for sure.
Yeah. Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah. So you say, it gets too hot, I might go shirtless. Just keep in mind that us women have to suffer. We don't get to do that. We have to still wear tight bloody clothes.
Yeah.
I know that sounds really fantastic. And so if Xavier, how old is Xavier now? Did you say? I think you might have said.
Zane's 19. So yeah, 19. first year out of school.
Yeah. And so if he goes to Japan, it's a lot more hope than if he doesn't go to Japan.
Yeah. I think, I don't think they're really spoiled for choice on that front. So yeah, like I texted him a little bit, like obviously he's still down Kilmaine. He's up here a fair bit for treatment and stuff, but yeah, I know, it just blows me away how he keeps fronting up each day. That's like kind of where I go to in the mornings as well. He doesn't really have the option.
Yeah.
I've got the option each morning to snooze the alarm. But yeah, there's people going through a lot worse things than me hopping up early in the morning and going for a run. So yeah, it's just yeah, even just when you text him, like he's always optimistic. He's never down and out. It's tears of the heartstrings talking to him. Like he's just he's an amazing human. What he does, and yeah, so are his parents. It's a credit to them. They've raised an awesome child.
Mm. Well, it's bloody tough and it's hard and it's awful, and I can't stand how cancer just drops in on people, but at least there's good people like you. And you're only 22, by the way. I should, we're talking before about you being a shit of a kid, but you're still a baby compared to me.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm still young, but yeah, I I'd like to think the last, I'll say then, not probably 8 months. I've tried to actively turn my life around a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's never too late, and you're never too young, never too old. You might as well. And it's such a good feeling when you start to think bigger than yourself. It's such an amazing.
Yeah, 100%. Like, it's still crazy now. Like, I get a fair few messages and stuff. Like, I started up a training account on Instagram. Like, a lot of people text me on that, saying that, well, they went for a run this morning because of me, or like they did that because of me. I'm like, I didn't actually realize what I was doing had an effect on people. Like, it's kind of unintentionally. It's never really been the purpose of what I've done to get out there and inspire people. Yeah, it's pretty cool now getting messages and like even opportunities like this.
Yeah.
On podcasts, it's people want to hear a little bit about my story now. It's pretty crazy, and I do enjoy it. It's nice for sure.
Yeah. Well, you give people hope. That's. You show people that it doesn't matter where you've been or what you think or what you've done or it doesn't matter anything. You can always make a decision to just do something bigger and better and to
100%. Yeah, it definitely ever is. It never is too late. Like you hear a lot of people, coming around this age and they end up turning their life around. Like you hear of like Goggins, Ned, the bloke who's running across Africa at the moment, like he's big gambling addict, alcoholic, sorry. And it feels as if everyone kind of has that sliding doors moment where, like we said before, you can be a little bit at the crossroads, at the fork in the roads, and you got a choice on where you want to go. A lot of people, they pick the right one, which is good.
Yeah. So what do you want to say to 20-year-olds that are lying in bed every Saturday and Sunday morning, not getting out till 1 o'clock?
Yeah, honestly, if I could say anything to me former self, would be you got capable of a lot more than what you think you are. Just start small. Like, yours doesn't have to be running like what mine eventuated being, but just find something that is uncomfortable at the start. Get out there, have a bit of a crack, and eventually, like for example, like 3K become a 6K, my 6K become 10K, 21K marathons, ultra marathons, and now running from at a later sale. You don't learn anything about yourself. Really sitting in bed, sleeping in, eating crap, doing not much with your life. You have to get out there and push a little bit to find out what you're capable of.
Yeah.
And then, you just build this level of self-belief from there, which is you didn't even know you were capable of it all. And it's pretty awesome. Yeah.
I think every single person's capable of so much more than they even realize, but we'll never realize it until we.
Yeah, that's what I say to people. Like a lot of people, well, they when I ran my first marathon, especially, like I put it on my Instagram after, and people are like, I could never run that far. Like I had a 21st that night. A lot of people come up and say, I could never run that far. I could never do that. And like you just putting a barricade on yourself straight away. Like you have to go out and run it tomorrow, but 8 months is a lot of time to make change. 6 months is a lot of time to make change. If you just start small, stick with it, be consistent, showing up each day. It shows resilience. You'll start to realize your talent pretty quickly and what you're capable of. Like I don't have any God-given talents. Like anyone can go a run or anything. Like not like Charlie or Powley or anything. Like I wasn't ever going to end up on an AFL list, but anyone can have a crack. Really, that's the main thing. I believe that should be the main takeaway from anyone.
Yeah, I believe that too. And how do I know? People are going to be going, well, how do we know Brock? Well, Brock's my partner Nikki's nephew. So I guess Brock's my step nephew. So I don't know, but I'm pretty proud to have you, Brock. I
appreciate that. I really appreciate the kind words and you having me on. It means a lot.
You really are a great human. You really are. And whether you're a shit of a kid or not, I still love you. I don't care. I'm glad that you've moved over to this side of the fence. But anyway.
yeah, it's easily the better spot to be.
Yeah, it certainly is. Well, Brock, thank you so much for joining us. This has been really inspirational. I'm going to put those the links in the show notes, and hopefully people donate, and hopefully people get on board. And as you get closer to the run, we'll start amping it up a little bit for you. And yeah, I wish you the best, and hope to see you again soon.
No, sure will. No, as I said, thank you so much for having me on, and yeah, giving me the opportunity to talk a little bit about my story and what's coming up for me. It's yeah, pretty awesome platform to be a part of, and an awesome opportunity. So thanks, Karen. I really appreciate it.
No, my absolute pleasure. All right, well, you better go to work and go be a chiropractor, and I better go to work and do something else. All right, great talking to you. Thanks, Brock.
Sounds good. Thanks, Karen. Appreciate
See
it.
ya. Ta-da.
See
See
you.
ya.